James, how do you do the things you do? I still can't believe that it's true. I get hungry when I think of you. Like champagne and caviar, you're such a treat. Like cherries to believe, you're oh so sweet. You whet my appetite each time we meet. Oh, James, it's true. I get hungry when I think of you.
Hi there, I'm James Barber, and it's my birthday. I'm actually wearing my birthday present. You want to see that? Isn't that nice? It's a local artist. That's really nice. It's native art, really pretty thing to see. Okay, now, so because it's my birthday, we're going to do canapes. We're going to do, you want a fancy party, you want to impress people with how smart you are. Okay, let's do this. The first thing we're going to do is steam some potatoes. Now look, you can either steam them in a steamer like that, you can steam them in a steamer like that, and hello. It's not a can of peas, it's canapes. Okay, boy, some of them, a can of peas. It's canapes, you know those fancy things they put on plates in fancy hotels. We put the potatoes in there to steam, and you put the lid on. It's all kinds of things you use to steam. You can use a Chinese steamer if you want. That just goes on top of the saucepan. This is a thing with holes in. That's a fancy steamer that's specially made for the job. Whatever you've got, you use, and we've got those on because they're going to take about 10 minutes to steam. What we're going to do now is make some really great, quick things. We're going to make some sort of Mediterranean tarts. So I'll crank up this fry pan, and as usual, we start with an onion. Most things, good things, start with an onion. So take an onion, just cut it into slices and cut the slices into bits. That's all you got to do with that. Now, that's ready to go. A little bit of oil in a hot pan, a tablespoonful of oil, and in goes the onion. Just pop it in there and don't fuss with it. Don't keep worrying. Just cut the onion again while you're doing it, and don't forget that I might look as if I'm hurrying sometimes, but you don't have to hurry because they'll always wait. If they're waiting, they get hungry, and when they're hungry, everything tastes good. So that's the secret. Don't have dinner ready for people exactly when they get there. Make them wait a bit. Make them walk up and down a bit and drool. Okay, onion in there. Tomato. Again, we'll cut the tomato into slices and then just turn it over and roughly chop up the tomato. You don't have to be too fussy with it. We want this to be some kind of texture to it because you've got good teeth, so you want something just to chew on. All right, so we've got onion, tomato, and oil in there. Don't stir things with your finger when it's very hot. Just do it when they're, all right? And some basil. Cut the stalk off the basil, and when you do basil, cut it with a sliding knife rather than chopping it, because chopping it sort of bruises it. So slide the knife across it, seeds and all, and just so the stem isn't too thick, and just pop that into the pot. Is that one going? I thought it wasn't going. There. Okay, now it'll get hot. Some garlic. All right. Now, squash the garlic, maybe a little bit of salt on there. That'll sort of keep it together because you've got to put salt in there. And then see the garlic picks up the salt, and you've got everything all in one go. Some salt, some basil, pepper, of course, pepper, and just crank it out and get it going. Turn it over. Turn it over. I'm going to get more lettuce. I'm using a metal spoon in a fry pan. I know this is not Teflon. It's a new technique, and that's it, and it works with metal. It's all right. Now that's just going to turn itself into a filling. Eggs. We want to put some eggs in it. And one of the nice, simple things to do is to crack eggs when you're going to use them for tarts into a jug. Because when you've cracked them into a jug, and you just beat them up a little bit like that, you can pour them out. So we got eggs beaten, come off. Olives, we want some olives in this mixture here, so we'll chop up some olives. And you can do this, Mackenzie, it's nicer if you can get fresh ones, that, you know, from the delicatessen, but if all you got is canned olives, then that's just fine. You're as close as you can get. Dump the olives in with the other mixture. Stir it all together so you can start to smell it. The garlic and the onion flavor and the tomato. Right. Now, what you do, get some cheese and a grater. Just a little bit of grated cheese. See, it's just learning to do things in some sort of sequence, and then you're in great shape. Right. Now, put it all together. Take your baking sheet, get some frozen tart tins, tart like that, and you don't have to tell everybody that you bought them frozen. You can just pretend that you did it, and there we go. Now what you do with this is interesting. You take a spoonful of this and you pop it in there like that. A little bit of spoonful of that. I'll just do 3 to show you right now. You take a little bit of grated cheese and put on top of each one, like that. And then you take your little bit, you pat it down, take your little bit of egg and just pour that over the top. See how easily it just comes out of there? Just a little bit. Don't overdo it because you don't want it all over the place. And just pat it down. I'm going to do the rest of these. Bung them in the oven at 350 degrees. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
James will be back in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
Hi, still my birthday, just checking the tarts to see that there'll be about 5 minutes. So that's one fancy canapé, all right? Now, let's do something simple and easy. Let's get some pears, and I'm gonna pour this juice off here. What am I gonna pour it into? Let me pour it into this saucepan. I hate wasting stuff, so I'm just gonna put the juice off these pears because I wanna use the pears for something else. Okay, now we're gonna do really something interesting. We've got here some pear halves out of a can. All right, if you didn't want to take them out of the can, you could, whoops, I dropped that one in the sink. You could take an ordinary pear. This is how they get pears in half. Make a note because there's a test on this. You just cut it like that and you get yourself a spoon or a fork or a small knife and just cut the inside out like that, and then just along the vein there like that, see? And we fish it out, we got a pear half. All right, now this is slightly different. We'll cut the bottom so it go flat, but you just put that in there like that. Now, what you do, see, it doesn't matter which you use, you get some gorgonzola cheese, and you get yourself a little fry pan while you're at it. Put the heat underneath it, make sure that's right, and get some nuts. So either some almonds or some pine nuts or some walnuts. It doesn't matter which, or hazelnuts, it's nuts, okay? And you get some gorgonzola cheese, stinky blue cheese, okay? And you put a bit of gorgonzola cheese in each pear half. I know this sounds weird, but that's okay. That's just fine. Trust me. All right? A bit of gorgonzola cheese in each pear half, and there's a good big bit to go in that one because it's a bigger pear. All right? The big thing about canapes is to have them largely so people can pick them up and put them in one go. Maybe a little bit too big, but if they're too big, they've got to fuss with them, and they want knives and forks. So try and keep them small, okay? And we're just going to take a little bit of basil, and we're going to take a leaf for each one. We're not going to put the basil on until later, but we're going to just do that. And we're going to take these nuts, toast it a little bit, and put a few nuts on the top of each. Whoops, that's hot. A few nuts on the top of each one. Doesn't matter if a few nuts go around the bottom because you're going to serve it this way. Okay? And bung those in the oven just to melt the, that's hot, just to melt the cheese. So I'm going to put that in the oven now, along with the tarts. All right? And it just so happens that the tarts are done. See, it doesn't take long. Look at that. Crank the oven up to 400 degrees for this one. Look, see, nice little tarts all ready to go, all golden with the egg on top and a little bit of cheese in there. So we've already got one lot and one lot in there. Now, that's for in a minute. Let's take something. Let me wipe this up so that we're clean and tidy here. Is that better, Mum? There you are. All right. Now, suppose we take a cucumber, and instead of cutting it that way, which will give us slices like that, we'll cut it this way, which will give us slices like that, so we can cut some like that, and some, let's do 3 of each, something like that, and some like that. Right, now get a plate, pretty kind of a plate, and this is dead easy. This is really dead easy. Martha Stewart will be very jealous of this lot, I can tell you. There, that one can go there, and that one can go there, and that one can go there. Now, we get a red pepper, and we cut it into very thin little slices. Just little thin slices, like that. We want 6 or 8 or 10, it doesn't matter what we have, but we just cut it up. Okay, a little bit of cream cheese for each piece, but I'll tell you what we do first. We'll do a little bit of smoked salmon on each one first of all. Come on. Now, stuff sticks together, and it's expensive, so we just put a little bit of smoked salmon on there, a little bit of smoked salmon on there, and it doesn't matter if you break it a little bit, because to tell you the truth, it's going to get broken up when they swallow it. So we just put that on there. We put a little bit of cream cheese on top of each one, a bit on there, a little bit on there, like that, and then over top of it we put a little bit, to give it a brightness, we get a lemon. We get a little bit of lemon zest. You can do it like that with a vegetable peeler, or you can do it with this fancy thing and just do it right onto the plate so that it gets around. See how pretty that's going to look? Just like that. And then you cut the lemon in half. You squeeze the lemon over the top like that, and you get your little bits of red pepper and put those on to make those look great. I'm going to finish that. We've got tarts, this, and, well, we got the pears in the oven. You know, we're doing all right, so they won't, and they'll be here any minute. So I'm going to be back in 2 minutes. Don't go away.
Don't go away. James will be right back.
Right, canapes we're doing today. You know, birthday party in a hurry. So we got potatoes steaming in here, and we can take those out of there now because they're steamed. They've had their 20 minutes or so. And we'll take the water that's in there and we'll put it into a fry pan because I want to show you. See, we steamed potatoes in here. We also steamed some potatoes in here, so we'll take those out of there too. There we go. Steamed potatoes. Now, potatoes don't sound like much for a birthday party, but there you are. What have we got water in there for? Well, I'm going to show you.
Oh, James, happy birthday. I've got a ton of birthday cards here for you. Well, happy 39th, I guess,
Thank you very much. And me and Jack Benny.
Yeah, there's even one here from Martha Stewart.
Great.
That's good.
Thank you.
Have a good birthday.
I know Martha's husband, Arthur, yeah. Anyway, but that's steaming there, and what we're going to do is quickly steam some green beans and some asparagus. The way to deal with asparagus, I told you before, is to break off the ends. Those are the crunchy bits. Those are the bits you're going to eat. Just put that in there and let it steam for about 2 or 3 minutes. All right? That's what we're going to do. Now, these here potatoes that we're talking about, we cut them in half. You can do this with bigger potatoes, but it looks pretty if you do it with little ones. All right? Just cut them like that. And this is a dish which is really great. And it sounds peculiar, but it doesn't matter. I'll just do half a dozen of them here like this. Okay, let's cut another one. Boiled potatoes for canapes. Take a spoon and you yard out a little bit out of the middle. Just a little bit, not a great big bit. And what you're going to do with that, you've made your little hole in there. Let's have this one, because that's a pretty one. There. Make a little hole in there, in the middle of each one. All right, and just, oh, I'm a perfectionist, so we're doing all. Right, now, a little bit of sour cream, same spoon, in the hole. That's what the hole is for. Now, potatoes and sour cream, everybody knows about. This is going to be very Russian, because it's not going to be just potatoes and sour cream. What it's going to be is potatoes and sour cream, right? And caviar. Now, if you can't afford really great caviar, don't worry, because this is just as good. I'm just going to drain the juice off there, so it's a little bit, get rid of the juice, so it's nice and dry. Okay, a bit of caviar. And you put on each potato a little bit of caviar. Now that starts to look great already. I can't get this spoon. Oh, we'll use the other end of it. Okay, it's sensible, isn't it? There, that can go in there like that. And if you don't like caviar, all right, you remember we had some nuts before we toasted? Well, you use nuts instead. You put nuts on top instead of caviar. So you got sour cream, caviar. Right. Now you get a little bit of dill. And what I would do is get a little bit of dill and just sort of lay it where it can be seen so it looks great. Because people are going to look at this stuff and say, did you make all this on your own? You know, that's when you start to get the, would you like to marry me, or would you like to darn my socks, or would you like to see my etchings? That's when it happens. A little bit of green dill on there like that, and a little bit more on there. And then you get a little bit of cayenne pepper, and just sprinkle that over the top. This is very Russian, and you, of course, Russians would drink vodka with this, because red pepper and vodka go very, very well together. So that's that. We get ourselves another plate. Here we go. And there's our second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever is it. Okay, now just watch what happens here. I'll wipe this off again. Here we go. So we got some nice clean space. We've got, see how bright they are from the quick steaming? Run them under cold water immediately. And that stops them cooking. That just stops everything happening in there, and they cool right off, because you don't want them to cook anymore. Now you grab some prosciutto. Now this is fancy Italian ham. Look at it. Very, very thin. It costs a lot of money, and you buy it and you're careful with it. You peel off slices of it like that. Now, I've just got 3 there. If you can't find prosciutto, you find ham. Okay? Just ordinary plain ham. You grab a couple of stalks of asparagus and you roll it up like that. If you don't want to use asparagus, you put the beans, you put them on sideways, diagonally, and you roll them up like that. Put another one on there, put the bottom over there. Let a little bit of tail stick out because, you know, it makes it interesting. That's great, and we'll do a bit more asparagus. Let's put 2 bits of asparagus in there. Same way, this is really all you got to do. And you just keep right on doing that until you got a whole plate full of them, which is what I'm going to do while I take a break. So don't go away. Be right here.
James will be back in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
Well, that was quick, and that was easy, a birthday, all right? We started off with those Mediterranean tarts, a little bit of onion, tomato, olives, nice stuff in there. Very, very easy. We did potatoes with caviar, and it can be cheap caviar, it doesn't matter, all right? A little bit of dill on it, a little bit of cayenne pepper. We did the quick and easy one with the prosciutto or the ham and the asparagus or the beans. You know, you swing both ways, that's what you got to do with it. Then we did a cold one, cucumber cut the right way. There it is. A little bit of sour cream, a little bit of smoked salmon, something made to look pretty. And we finished up with that great, you must really try this, pears with gorgonzola. Bung it in the oven, bake it, a few nuts on the top. That's one of those really great dishes that people remember forever and ever and ever. Next time you're tempted to phone for a pizza or take out Chinese, just try cooking it yourself. Do it the way we do, quick and easy and simple and no hassles. Well, there you are. Just because you can have a birthday. You can have a birthday anytime you like, as a matter of fact. I mean, that's a really nice thing to do. I got a friend of his, he's old enough, he has 2 a year, one in the summer, one in the winter. So anytime you feel like a birthday party, get out something simple, cook it. That's it. Goodbye. See you next time.